Turning Point USA is an organization that attempts to mobilize young conservatives, but it does have a track record of hiring people or affiliating itself with people who have said some pretty disastrous things. The most recent example involves Juan Pablo Andrade, who is a self-professed conservative who has a pretty impressive, resume. He has worked at a lot of different places, including The Hill, where he is an opinion writer. Now, aside from his work for the pro-Trump America First group, he worked on Trump's National Hispanic Advisory Council, Trump's National Diversity Coalition, and the Trump campaign as a surrogate. He writes for The Hill as an opinion contributor and has shared his political opinions on Newsmax, CNN Latino, and Univision. So he sounds like the type of person who might have some interesting things to say. Maybe he has some constructive things to add to the political discourse in the country. No, turns out that during the Turning Point USA conference, his white nationalist friend, who is not white, he's actually of Puerto Rican descent, filmed him for his Snapchat story. And in that Snapchat story, you will see that Andrade said the following about Nazis.
The Nazis didn't get right is that they didn't keep going. The Nazis didn't get right is that they didn't keep going.
So he said, for those of you who might have had a little bit of trouble hearing it, the only thing the Nazis didn't do right is that they didn't keep going.
Didn't keep effing going.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of these Latinos in these right-wing organizations. Andrade's family originally from Venezuela. There's one guy who's Mexican American, and he's about white power. And I think he's slightly confused, but they want to fit in so much, and they want to hate other people so much. They're like, where do I go to hate people? Oh, I know, the right wing. Yes, they're my home. So, and this happens over and over again. And every time, oh golly, gee, yeah, we didn't know. They named him 30 under 30 for all these right-wing publications. These are their intellectuals. And then, of course, the mainstream media will just call it even. I mean, on the one side, we have people who think Hitler didn't go far enough. And on the other side, we have the left wing fighting for radical positions like Medicare for all and college education for your kids. Well, I guess I'm gonna call it even, right? And they'll probably call him an intellectual later. And golly gee, it's another fascist in the right wing. Who could have guessed it? Here, me, I could guess it. Guess what? I will predict for you that there'll be a half a dozen other fascist people who like Nazis, etc., that'll be uncovered in these groups. And they say it over and over again, but hey, right wing, left wing, who can tell?
So the person who posted that rant on Snapchat, really smart idea, is Caesar Suburvi, and he is an alt-right activist who participated in the Charlottesville white supremacist march and has been filmed with Richard Spencer. Now, let's learn a little bit about him. Apparently, he tweets all sorts of terrible, violent things. In fact, one of the more recent things that he had tweeted was the following. My favorite part about getting on a conversation about politics with strangers is watching their reaction of disgusted surprise when they realize I basically just advocated for the genocide of all the demographic groups they support instead of agreeing with their garbage.
So the garbage that he doesn't want to agree with is that we should treat all people the same and not be in favor of genocide or Holocaust. It's like garbage. Who's not in favor of genocide? And these are the same guys who will then pretend that they care about genocide, right? So they then turn around and go, ha ha, I got him, man, I showed him because I hate all these groups and I'd like to murder all of them. Right wing, left wing, I can't tell the difference. I mean, golly gee, if I work for the mainstream media, they're about 50-50.
And by the way, one of the people who liked that tweet was Caitlin Marie Bennett, who apparently was Turning Point USA's former campus leader at Kent State University. So again, I mean, you look at the long list of people that this organization has associated itself with, and it's pretty devastating and disgusting. And look, Cenk, I don't think that look, this is my speculation, so let me be absolutely clear about this, okay? I don't think that they're doing this to fit in, okay? I think they're doing this because they're paid to say what they're saying. I do not believe for a second that a Mexican American is going to join or be part of any type of hateful organization that spews hatred toward Mexicans for free because he wants to fit in. I just don't believe it. Again, that is my speculation, but that's just
no. There's a lot of sick people in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't really care about their motivation. I care about what the reality is. So this Severi guy. He also said, only so many times I could write about how much I hate. By the way, my printout cut off in one version at that point, and I was like, fill in the blank. What difference does it make? Hate what? Blacks, Mexicans. In his case, since he's Latino, maybe not Latinos, but maybe, depends. Are you paying him? How much does he hate himself, etc.? Jews, Muslims. But I says it was probably Muslims because they hate those guys the most. And it turns out it was. Only so many times he wrote, I could write about how much I hate Muslims or why America needs a dictator. Okay, more from, by the way, Mike Pence has spoken to this group. It's led by Charlie Kirk, who debated our Hassan Piker. He must be so proud. And he says, no, this is just a grassroots organization. Really?
No,
they were paying for the hotel that all these alt-right fanatics were staying in. Where'd you get all the money? In fact, they tried to ban the Swerby guy, and then they were like, oh, not enough people are gonna show up. They know what he's about. They know he's a fascist. Right. And they're like, well, if we deny fascist entrance, well, who's gonna show up? So they decided to unblacklist him and let all the fascists who are in favor of Holocaust attend, because they're like, that's who we are, that's who we are. So here's someone else, Carl Higbee. He was a Trump appointee, but had to basically go away and remove himself from there because it was found out that he said black people are lazier than whites, and that he admitted that he was racist against Muslims. Okay, so his appointment didn't work out. Guess who swooped in and hired him as a director of advocacy? The same group. Okay, but what, us? How could you call us racist? We're just intellectuals who are doing a lot of free thought.
Yeah,
free thought, kill the Muslims, blacks are lazy. Who else do I need to kill and murder? And oh, the Nazis didn't go far enough. Free thought, I'm just doing free thought, I'm an intellectual. And the mainstream media looks at it and goes, 50-50, 50-50. Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that their message, and not just Turning Point USA, I'm talking about, extremists, right-wing extremists in the country. Their message has been, in a way, given a platform in the mainstream media because, and look, this was an off-the-record conversation, so I'm not going to identify who it was with, but I confronted someone who works in the mainstream press about their nonstop coverage that includes the voices of these alt-right individuals, these white supremacists, these neo-Nazis, and this person admitted to me, well, yeah, it's a little sensationalist, but it gets the readers, it gets the viewers, it gets the views. And it's disgusting to know that they're being placed on an equal footing to those on the left who have legitimate concerns and actually want to do good for the country.
And by the way, that's actually not even true. It's not an equal footing. Yeah. How many Bernie Sanders supporters do you see on cable news?
That's a great point.
Almost none. Like I've said, I think Van Jones and Nina Turner sometimes goes on as a guest on some of these CNN shows. So 1.5. Meanwhile, you turn on cable news, you'll see alt-right figures all day long. You'll see massive right-wingers, and they'll be described as intellectuals, and they'll be in these groups that harbor Nazis and fascists and actively hire racists. Oh, you're so racist you couldn't work for Trump's government. Well, you're going to be our director of advocacy. Oh well, intellectuals. Let's put them all over cable news. Bernie Sanders supporters, you guys actually want to help Americans? You want to increase their wages? Radicals, bring the neo-Nazi on. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.